morning, everybody. It's been a minute since I've shared anything with you guys, so I just wanted to start this day out because yesterday was kind of a wild day of decision making and quest for knowledge, I guess, is where that's just kind of the continuing in conversations with people that have gone through the stage 4 colon cancer surgeries, but today marks the 1 year to right now. A year ago today, I was getting my rear end probed and my mouth probed, and then when I woke up, found out I had cancer, or colon cancer, or tumor. But as the journey starts today, a year ago, it's been I think it's been one of the greatest things that's happened to me. In the weirdest way, when I'm saying this, it's just what I've learned so much about myself and what I've become now. And the learning journey is remarkable. I could talk about it for hours, but I'm gonna give you a nutshell of the year of what I've gone through, and then why my decision yesterday was made. Because this is cancer, and I think as a world, and I'm not disrespecting anybody that fears cancer or I've had people in our family have lost lives to cancer. So I know it's not a joke. I know it's a real thing, and but I also now am learning it can be beat if you do everything a certain way. But yeah, so it goes, here we are, a year into my journey of knowing I have cancer, but I've had pain, and the pain's off and on 8 months before I knew I had cancer. So here I am, a year and 8 months, 20 months of having symptoms of cancer. But as my journey begins, I go, you find out you have cancer, and I think I'm dead. You go, you're dying. It's the first thing we've all known since we were little. When you hear cancer, like, oh man, that's the bad. That's not good. And here, I go through. I think I'm dying. I think it's done. Go get all these scans. Meet Michigan. Get these people. Get this. And then on my birthday, I get a PET scan to make sure they saw something on my liver. October 26th, I find out I'm stage 4 colon cancer. I was supposed to have surgery that following week. So there's surgery 1 I was supposed to have canceled because I'm stage 4. It's no good. We're going to just have to treat now. Got to go full blast you. Months go by. More scans, more biopsy, more jamming into me. And finally, December 16th, I start chemo, which is fine. I actually don't have any symptoms. I go through that. I do 5 rounds of chemo. But along this journey, I mean, this is the thing that you got, like, everything in between, so of 2020, what I started putting together, I just can't even, like, my brain it's like, there's this overall, yesterday I was trying to piece it together better of what it is that, like, my learning, like, just the things that have been presented and what you learn about yourself. And then so I started acupuncture, and Ian, amazing dude, just with wisdom, compassion, availability, and knowledge, and the way to help you heal. I mean, he's a key ingredient to my battle and where I'm at today. And the things that he has shared with me, not just with putting needles in my body, but he also does these birth readings and birth chart, like, and he even do further and further for me. And, like, we just found there's just so things like I was prone to already. I'd never have known, but because of where I was started in the universe, where everything came together and I was made. And then the day I was born, when I came out, everything that lines up in that day, what I am. First off, I made in my code, the writing is to be destroyed and to be rebuilt. So I've got that. I mean, like, that is literally the words that are in my writing. I also am prone to, there's like an anger and, there's anger, guilt, something else, and that's the line from my liver to my colon. But with Ian, with all this guidance, so I've worked on my anger and whatever, trying to figure out where my anger came from. I'm like, why was I so angry? And everybody thought I was angry because my real dad left my mom when she was pregnant for me. And I'm like, well, I didn't even know the guy. I was a baby. I woke up when I was born, man. Bill Dopp was my dad. And this guy was the greatest guy, raising my brother and me, and taking care of my mom, and then made a beautiful sister and another awesome brother. I got nothing against Bill or against Tim, or that's my real dad's name. All these things, and here, as I go through, I'm trying to figure out, like, all these years. I mean, I've had 7 therapists since I was 19 years old. And my latest one is another team member for me, Randy, and he's literally all the things. It's funny, the work him and I have done for 3.5 years, literally prepared me for cancer. Everything else was trivial. Everything else was, again, it was irrational. It was fucking dumb. It was like a waste of energy and time that I was all focused on. And it's funny, and then here we are, now we're doing the real work. Because as I'm going through this, I go to Mayo, I get biopsies, and we're getting surgeries planned. And again, insurance gets in the way. So this is it's just the universe is trying to say something. This is how I'm looking at it. This is what yesterday came down to. So insurance stops me. They mess with me. So they've stalled. Insurance company alone has interrupted a total of 5 months of my treatment. They've paused it. And each time something they wanted to, right now I'm still in the middle of, they're not going to pay for the radiation I did. And I haven't even got to that yet. So here we are. So I'm supposed to have a surgery in May. Mayo cancels that because of insurance gets in the way. And then I'm supposed to have a surgery, I think it was June or July. Again, they're talking about it. Then they're like, nope, we want you to do radiation and chemo pills. I'm like, cool. So I do it. I was like really fighting, and I was talking to people, and I had a really good conversation with all my doctors, both sides, Bronson and Mayo. And I'm like, okay, I'm buying into it. I'll do the radiation. So I do that, and luckily nothing really happened. Like just the last 3, I guess, rounds of radiation, they do this thing, they get heightened, where I just thought I was going to crap myself on the table. That's the only thing I was worried about. That's the only thing I really had. So I'd make jokes with the nurses about, how many times, people crap themselves, and it actually does happen. Because I always thought that when there's this one section of the radiation that would hit my body, I would have to fight. Like, I'm like, holy cow, I'm going to crap the bed here. But that was really fun. So that's also the positive. It made me work, so my rear end control is really good. So especially when a laser or whatever is going on, radiation is burning my insides, I can prevent myself from crapping myself. So pretty cool. So I go through, and there's another. So we get that done. They're like, okay, we're gonna do surgery September. We're gonna get it going. We're gonna open you up, get the liver, get the Higher Lymph Node out, get the tumor out. I'm like, great, okay, if this is what we're supposed to do. And the whole time, I've been watching all this stuff about and reading about the holistic ways, natural ways of beating cancer. And then there's these really great documentaries that are proving that they're doing it. Like, these people are not even having surgeries, they're not doing anything. They're just, boom, they're cancer-free because they've changed their whole lifestyle. Everything about it. And I learned that. That was the gift, the greatest gift, the day I realized. I think that was October. I can't remember that day when I realized I had to change everything in my life. But when it was, that was it. Like, I was like the most, like, I was like, oh my, like, you're just in like light speed, just like, I was like, this is happening, and everything made sense. So that's easy. So now that I've got that in my toolbox, that feels good. And here I am. So the universe is like, man, we're not going to... Something's happening why I'm not having surgery all this time. So then Mayo calls me and they're like, hey, we're going to move your surgery. We want to put micro radiation in. It's like, more shit in my body? And they keep moving and they move it out again. And I'm like, and the day they told me they're moving it out, my mom comes back from buying plants from this lady with my aunts, and she's like, man, I just met this, we're talking, she's known the lady, but and her husband had stage 3 rectum cancer, and he had like, I think 9 months to live, they said, and then they said they had to cut him, do all this stuff. It's just terrible. Like, he's going to be in a colostomy bag for the rest of his life. He's going to be doing, 12 months of radiation and chemo, all this stuff. But he went this holistic route, the holistic way. He's cancer-free now, 6 years. Nothing, no surgeries, nothing. And I talked to him last night, and amazing stories. But anyways, that day, my mom got the information, so I went 2 weeks ago today, I went down to Shipshewana, Indiana, and I met these healers, Amish healers. I haven't felt this good in these 2 weeks. I haven't felt this good back since 2019. But 2019, I was already, like, my brain was oatmeal. Like, I was a mess of anxiety and crap. So today, how amazing I feel, and the fact that I was giving myself some time. So yesterday, I just had a big weird day I talked to a friend of mine that's went through surgery, and we were talking, and she's really upset that she's got to keep doing chemo, and so I gave her the number to Indiana, to these people, and then, so and I told Mayo, I'm not doing the surgery. I want to push it out. I want to go through this holistic, I got 2 more months, I want to do whatever, the 3 months of program with these guys in Indiana, because the stories are unimaginable. It's just like, and then the first thing the guy told me, when I walked into the place we're talking, we do all our testing, he's like, the government hates us because we're saving people. And then last night, I found out from the guy that the reason this guy, the main doctor, his practice got shut down in Michigan by the government because he was curing cancer. So they put him in jail. They couldn't find him. He wasn't doing anything wrong. They just put him in jail. So then he moved his practice to Indiana, and he's in, I think, in my head, he's like on Amish land, and I don't know if they can touch him or whatever, but they're saving people. The stories are insane. I heard 3 more stories that went through there. It's insane. So yesterday was just like wild. Like, I'm like, okay, this is like a crazy, like, okay, I'm feeling good. Is it because I'm doing everything, I've been doing, or is it because of what they set me up on? And it's a whole herb and detox program strictly built for me. Not anyone from 35 to 45. Me, Travis Dopp. Like, that's how cancer needed to be treated. Patients need to be treated by individually. Not this whole, like, oh yeah, well, how old are you? Okay, we'll put you in the lump sum here, grab this antibiotic, grab all this crap and jam it in you, and then we're going to just poke you and fill you up with gasoline and burn you alive. So good luck. And then it got more weird as I had, here Mayo calls me, and they get a sales pitch going, which is fine. I get what they're trying to do. They do care. Mayo does care. I know they do, and I've had legit conversations with these people and a lot of their team. But man, people do not like it when you say you're going this route. And yesterday was proof. They called me 23 times and then called my mom 4 times. I find that a bit odd. It's like, wait, why is this so manic, and why are you calling me this many times? But I think I want to talk, the one thing I really want today, when I woke up this morning, I woke up about, 4:30. And I think that is funny because I think a year ago today, at 4:30, I was getting ready to go, preparing to go to the hospital, getting around because I had to go early. And I woke up and I was like, you know, you just kind of look at my life, and like, and my friend and I were talking about how when people speak to you, it's like, man, it's so different. Where back in the day, I would buy into a conversation or some trivial conversation. It would trigger me. It would get me. I would react to it. I would totally like it. I think, and then it's like funny how the world. Hold on, sorry. Like I used to be really wide with my scepters, I guess, would just be, and I would pick up and I would feed on and go and let it come in and the chaos, and then like feed, like if there was someone like running their mouth or whatever, just come back. And but through this time, it's funny, the people that want, because that was one of my, I forgot to mention, the biggest part of this journey. So I met a shaman, my brother set it up, and he went to this woman years and years ago. And I wrote a part of a song about it, my brother being in the desert with this woman and doing his work. So he one day just rang, he's like, dude, I got in touch with Heather again, would you want to talk to her? I'm like, God, I love it. Because I met a shaman, I think it was almost 15 years ago, and it was a fantastic experience, wild experience. And he actually called out my cancer. I didn't know it was cancer when he was talking about, but that was it. And what the most profound, it was great what he said afterwards, but I won't need to say anything because it's more personal with that side of, from Kurt, that guy, that shaman. But this Heather, we talked for 2 hours, and we're going in and we're doing our work, and she locks in and sees judgment at 5 years old. And there's this image of 2 kids that are my class, and it's always, anytime I think about this day, it's when it started. I was like, she said it, and I was like, holy shit, man. And I could see their faces, and they judged, because we were very wealthy. We were back in these days, we were poor. So like, I was looked at as a grubber, and a weirdo. Me and my buddies, 2 buddies, the 3 of us were weirdos. But I also stood up for my buddies, these young guys, these little dudes, and I would fight every day because people are just messing with me. Messing with my buddies, and like they were really poor, these 2 kids, and we never I don't know what happened to those 2 guys. They didn't end up graduating with us, but God, they were fantastic. That was crazy. So I've seen this map of judgment since 5 years old, and you'd think, oh, it's from being a musician and a writer and all this stuff. You get judged all the time, but those are I never took a review or a fan or someone that hated us or didn't like our music or didn't like the message or thought this, they would rip on it. I never even, because that's like nothing. That's just someone, whatever, that's their job, I guess. But I always found the humor in all of it. I remember when I started doing solo stuff and reviews, it's not Small Round Bike. It's like, yeah, it's not supposed to be Small Round Bike, dude. Wake up. Like, I'm doing Travis John. That's what it's doing. It's not Small Round Trav, it's like the weirdest, like, it's funny how people, so I used to, on my solo, because then it becomes this focus of, and then I would let it a little bother me, but then I just laugh, I go, fuck, I can't, like, this is pointless, like, these reviewers are just pointless. And then, like, as you start putting your film projects out and you're going to film festivals, you get then the difference with that journey, the notes of that journey, and like the judgment or someone telling their opinion of what they think of it, and it's different. It was like, these are like, I don't know what it is about the film stuff. Those were babies, but that would like kind of get to me a little. I would be like, but it would make me work harder. But the creepier part of the judgment is all from close circle humans, friends. And like when her and I, the shaman, we were working through it all the way, and it's amazing what the judgment from peers and what I would do with it, because you get to a point you're beyond sick and tired of hearing people tell you what you should be doing, or how you should be doing it, or how you're supposed to be living. Oh, you're doing this wrong. You're this. You're that. You can't be doing that. And it's just like, so now I'm coming back to the here. This is the world I used to be in. I'm like just taking it all, like hearing it, and like, so then I would drink a ton before I'd go out with these certain people or around them. So I didn't want to hear them. It's like, dude, I just go. But now being sober for 3 years and hearing and having all this information about myself, of who I am, and then going through what I'm going through, you know, like shoot, the decision yesterday is like, if this doesn't work, the holistic approach, because Mayo's saying you can die. You're gonna die if you don't do our surgery. If we don't dump gasoline in you. Okay, that sounds absolutely rotten, because I talked to a few friends that have gone through surgeries and they have issues after the surgery. They're not 100%. Even though they're cancer free, now they got other shit they're dealing with. So where do you draw the line? Like, where mine is minimal, limited disease. Even the guys down in Indiana are like, you're not even at risk. That's how little this is. It's a life, like, I could die, or second scenario, it works, and I'm cancer free. So then what do you do with that? You know, like that's all I've wanted, is to be cancer free. And in the beginning I've thought about, and then the more and more, so again, the way to win, you got to get rid of the noise. And that's what used to be this. And now I just walk through life, and I care a ton. But those that want to keep pounding and be heard about trivial bullshit and this and want to get on me, even though because I don't look like I have cancer, there's not an understanding of like, dude, I'm going through on a daily so much stuff. But I also don't want the violin of like, oh, Trevor, are you doing? It's like, no, I'm living, but I'm healing, and I'm learning, and I'm living again. I'm like, my 45 years was take one, you know? So now take two, man, I'm using all these. It's going to be the next 80 years is going to be the best 80 years of my life. I'm looking forward to it, because it's going to be a totally different person and no noise. I'm just going to walk in. People can pound, scream, yell, and want to be heard about something. Good luck. I mean, like, get cancer, get something, or go do something, and love, man. I love you. Everything. It's like everyone, all the noise. It's just like doctors, friends, people, family, humans, you interact with neighbors. It's like, love you. But if we're talking anything that's not relevant, like, or just not even like important, good luck with everything. And that's kind of like where, because right now the heaviness of what I'm sitting with right now, and then today, like I said, I'm meeting I just want to make sure I get the right treatment as I'm doing this holistic approach. I want to make sure I'm watching all of my markers, all of my blood work. If it's weekly, daily, monthly, I just want to see if the numbers are going down, then what I'm doing is working. If they don't go down, then I'll, dive back into the conventional ways of healing. It's not the goal, but it might have to be what it is, But, no, I just want to say to everyone through this year, because that's been the most awesome part, the amount of people that have come and shown face and talked to me, shared their thoughts, their feelings, their stories, their success, their loss. It's been fantastic. It's been the most amazing thing I've ever. Again, connection is key. True connection is key. And we're all in it alone. It just depends how you want to talk to these people or another person. You have a choice to be authentic and true and caring and compassionate, or just a fart, And everybody knows a fart stinks. They're funny. Farts are funny, but they stink. And that's, I don't know. That's all I gotta say. But my last thing, man, anybody out there that hasn't gotten colonoscopy, lie to your doctor and get one. I don't care what age you are anymore. The cases are 20s, 30s. Just tell your doctor your butt's bleeding and they'll get you a colonoscopy. They have to. And I highly recommend doing it. I've had, in the last month, 4 people have gotten colonoscopies and they got polyps removed. So polyps turn into cancer. They never would have known, but they just went and did it because of my story. And I don't want anyone to ever have to go through what I'm going through right now with the ups and downs and the surgeries and the no surgeries and the doctors, the testing, the probing, the poking, the stabbing, the everything. It gets really old. And that's the best part. I mean, I'm not even go there. I can go, like I said, I just want to say thank you to everybody for being in my corner this year. And I hope we can get more people help, get more people aware of how we can beat this, or even those that are not sick, ways you can take care of yourself. Just be healthier, be more kind, be compassionate, and be more understanding. So hopefully I'll do another video. Well, I'm going to do a lot of updates on this stuff because I got a whole bunch of stuff I got to talk about, or I want to. And there's other things, but I just wanted to, today's kind of a special day. It's like my rebirth of last year to become who I am. And then who I am today is even better than last year. So hopefully next year I'll be even cooler, even better. So thank you guys. Bye. Deconstruct this love.